What's up guys, we are back with the Total Athlete vlog. This is vlog number 18. We have got some clean pulls, we have got some bench press, we have also got some weighted pull-ups today, or weighted chins, and that is going to be pretty much it. We are currently running the Athletic Index program. This is the beta version. My Athletic Index currently is 2.31 if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to have to run the numbers again. But I've got max power clean of 120 kilograms, a max approach vertical jump of like, again, I've never officially tested it, but I'm pretty sure it's in the region of like 36 to 37 inches. Then we've got a best 10-meter fly result of, what was it? 1.03 seconds. So all of that was done at a body weight of 85 kilograms. So all in all, that gave me, I think, a total of somewhere in the region of like 2.3 to 2.4. So that puts me in the advanced athlete range, as per the normative data. So what I'm aiming to do is to increase it in 2025 to above 2.5, so I can be considered in the elite category of athletes. And then anything above 3, I don't know if that's possible in my lifetime. I think it is. I would love to get something above a 3. But yeah, that's essentially what the aim of this program is, to increase my power clean, increase my just general strength overall relatively, decrease my 10-meter fly time, as well as increase my max approach vertical jump. So let's get into it. So this is going to be the basic setup for the first part of the workout. Clean pulls, off-foot dunks on 9 for 6. Okay, I'm definitely not going to make this one on the first attempt, but what I'm going to focus on here is getting into a really deep squat before I jump, so that I'm getting a bit more of a slower stretch shortening cycle, a bit more of like a force dominant end of the force velocity curve movement here, and it's just a single effort jump as well. So realistically, to dunk this, I would say it's actually probably a legit 30-inch vertical jump. To get this ball, to get this much of my hand above the rim, from here to a 9.6 rim, I would say that that's about somewhere in the low 30s, maybe even high 20s, like 29, 30 inches to actually clear the rim off foot and put the ball in the rim. Yeah, I'm getting down the next set. Definitely getting down the next set. A lot closer than I thought, but yes, as I said, still a rim stuff. Okay, straight into the clean pulls. Once again, I'm trying to pull this nice and high, nice and explosively, until the weight doesn't allow it. I think sometimes the issue with clean pulls, just regular clean pulls, is that you don't pull on the bar, you don't load a weight on the bar that is light enough for you to still get the same speed as if you were going to do a power clean or a full clean. You're pulling it a lot slower because you know it's heavier. You're treating it as like a strength exercise, whereas clean pulls should really be treated more as technical exercises, trying to maintain the same technique that you do with like 100% 1RM that you can do with like 110, 115, maybe even up to 120% 1RM. That's, in my opinion, as I understand it, the biggest benefit of a clean pull. If you're doing like a pull that is well above your like max clean or even max power clean, you're just not going to be moving it with the requisite velocity and intent. I mean, the intent might be there, but the velocity is not going to be there for you to actually get any real benefit out of it. Crazy to think this is only like 5.5 inches lower than a regulation rim. Like, even if I'm barely dunking on this now, 5.5 inches is definitely pars. 5.5 inches is definitely something that is doable in terms of increasing your vertical jump over the course of like years of training. I'm not talking over the course of a year or like when you hit puberty. I'm talking about like from an averagely trained male or averagely trained person's perspective, you can increase your vertical jump by that much, and I'm going to try and prove it to you guys that it is possible if you just work at it and you train smart and hard at the same time. There we go. Woo! Yep. That was nice. Ah. 120 felt really good. I think I can jump to 125 and then leave it there for the next 2 sets. I'm going to get one more set of dunks in on each side, and then I'm just going to focus on the clean pulls and then get straight into upper body session for the day. I knew I was going to get rim stuffed. Okay, I'm going to make one more with the deflated ball on each side, and then we will call it for the jumps there today. Jumps really were just there to potentiate me for the explosiveness on the extension on the clean pulls. So they've served their purpose now. I'm not trying to like get super duper high volume jumps in today. So this right here is my clean 1RM. So I'm doing 5 reps of my clean 1RM with a relatively explosive panda pull, trying to pull the bar as high as I can after extension. So I'm extending, and then I'm kind of like half flexing to get underneath the bar to mimic the third pull, because the third pull isn't just pulling up here like this, it's also getting underneath the bar a little bit as well. So it's a very highly specific exercise to the cleans, hence why I'm not going like super duper heavy with it. Like for a regular set of clean pulls, just regular old clean pulls where you're just extending here like this, you might go to like 110 or maybe even like 115% of your clean 1RM, depending on the lifter, but maybe even up to 120, but it's never going to be like excessively heavy. But again, it varies widely depending on the lifter, but for our purposes here, this is what we want. I lost count, I think that was 4. It's always the healthier thing to do if you lose count on the reps, to do one more than you think you've done. It's a lazy thing to say like, oh, I'm pretty sure I did the right number, and then assume that this one's the last one. Even if you're right, you should stay disciplined and remind yourself that just because you've lost count, or you should punish yourself for losing count, you should have been focusing and paying attention to how many you've done. So always get an extra rep in. It's the healthier thing to do because it's just a healthier mindset. It's like I'm willing to do the extra work, even if it means I've done one extra rep. Because that extra rep, it's just psychologically, it does make a big difference in my opinion. So if you miss count, always go for the higher number of reps that you think it could be than the lower one. So for example, if you're aiming to do a set of 5 like I was here, and you lose count on 3, and it's like, right, have I done 3 or 4? Just assume you've done 3 and do 2 more, as opposed to assuming you've done 4 and only doing 1 more. It's a slight mindset shift, but I think it does make all the difference. It's those little things, those little disciplines that you do over days and days, weeks and weeks, months and months, years and years, that really does add up in the long run. And I think that it's little internal psychological battles like that that do make the difference between success and failure. Sometimes there are workouts where you feel awful in the warm-up and then you completely surprise yourself and you go much heavier than you thought you possibly could have, or you perform a lot better than you thought you possibly could have. And for every one of those sessions, there's also a session that's completely the reverse, where like you're warming up, feeling amazing, feeling poppy, feeling snappy, and then you go on to like the first working set weight, or you go and try and do something like a working set of high intensity athletic activities, and then you end up just completely failing, or you just suck at it. And that happens. And again, that's a part of the process of training. It's not about the individual workouts per se. Like obviously you can't just neglect and not focus on the workout, but when you have a long-term vision, it just really puts each workout into the right perspective, so that if an individual workout or even a whole week of workouts completely suck, that's fine, because you're still on the right path towards the long-term vision. Like if you have the goal to jump higher and you're jumping consistently, you're getting stronger, then, and you're not like eating like a dick, you're sleeping properly, you're getting good nutrition, and you're working your jump technique. If you're not seeing progress at the rate you want to, that's fine, because you're still doing the right combination of activities in order to improve your vertical jump height. And that's the same case for lifting heavier, same case for sprinting faster. If you're doing the thing that's going to make you better at the thing, then hell, if you're not making the progress you want to, then just be patient, continue doing it, and give yourself time, because consistency over time is a very powerful thing. And if you have that long-term horizon of decades rather than weeks or months or even years, it's decades. If you're actually looking at the long-term vision of how is my athletic development, or whatever your development that you're trying to do is, this works for personal development as well, but how is this going to fit in the long-term picture over 10 years, then what's one workout, man? Doesn't matter. Forgot to mention, rep scheme today for bench press. My current favorite rep scheme. I think this is a go-to rep scheme for strength, hypertrophy, and just volume training, because it hits all ends of the spectrum. Heavy single, heavy 5, and then either an AMRAP or a heavy 10. Really covers the whole spectrum. I've talked about it before. I'm going to stop beating the concept like a dead horse. All right, that was fine for 2. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think I've got 115 in the tank. Oh yeah. Perfect weight. One more. Man, Last rep of the 100 actually felt harder than the 115, I'm not gonna lie, but heck, we made it. So, based on how that 100 felt, I really would like to do an AMRAP set with 90. I think I can get 10 with 90. It's such a strange jump, like 10 kilo difference, 90 to 100, but like probably more than 5 reps difference as well. But also part of my mind is thinking maybe I should drop it to 85, but I know that last time I got much more than 10 with 85. So I think 90 is the best move. It's the most productive move to see how much I can progress the bench. Because it's a weight that I haven't done 10 reps with before, but based on how all the weights have been moving today, I think I can comfortably hit 10, and if I can shoot for more than 10, that's even better. So let's give that a shot on the next set. It's 5. Ooh. It's 9. Come on. At least 2 more. You know what? I think that's the perfect weight. 20 kilos is the perfect weight. Whew. And at a body weight of like 86, 87, that's a cumulative weight of 107 for 8 reps. Not too bad. Quick question for you guys who use these like cheaper weight belts. Do you just wrap it straight through the weight and then clip it on like that? Do you wrap it through itself first and then wrap it around the weight? Or do you wrap it around the weight and then wrap it through itself? Leave a comment down below. I think there's 3 schools of thought here. I personally tend to do one of the 2 latter options, where I either wrap it through itself and then through the weight, or wrap it through the weight and then through itself, just so that it's a little bit shorter. And especially in situations like this, where like it's a doorway pull-up bar, if this was just dangling at its full length, it would hit the floor every single time, so. Two more. Ooh. My hands look like this, so hers can look like this. Gonna struggle here. Seven and a half. All right, let's get one more eccentric. Okay. Whew. All right. That is it for today's workout, guys. I appreciate the view if you watched all the way until this point in the video. For those of you that are interested, the Athletic Index program is now live. So if you want to be part of the beta testing group for the program, then DM me on Instagram @MKG Performance. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.